this set play, set action, and defensive scheme is something that we've seen for a decade now. Teams have used it so much. Let's talk about on the offensive end and the defensive end. What is it? Well, it's going to be a high ball screen. Now, the Clippers do make an adjustment here, but we'll get into that later. So it's going to be a high ball screen, right? We're going to get Kawhi Leonard for a ball screen here. Now, Golden State Warriors has been trapping Kawhi a lot, right? And when this happens, they elect to trap it off this ball screen, as we see here. Now, let's talk about the defense now. The defense usually zones up into a triangle. So right here we see almost a triangle look right here. Top of the key. Some coaches call it the nail. Elbow, elbow, wing, wing, right? And that's kind of how the standard defense, you've seen it in terms of zoning up on a trap, on a high ball screen trap in the middle of the floor, right? Now, what you want to do offensively is usually you get the ball to the person rolling, slipping, and then we've seen it. Warriors fans have seen this so many times where it's like, okay, we get this, and then we try to get it in play on a rotation, right? On a 3v4 situation. Right here we see rotation. Right now, Draymond Green should go to the high post, and the guard should be sprinting as soon as the ball is passed to the corner here. And then we get a wide open 3-point shot. Let's take a look at it again, full speed, so you guys see what's going on here. Again, every team run this last decade. We've seen it happen before. So middle ball screen, we're going to try to trap it. Jimmy Butler doesn't commit to the trap here. Rotation, tough rotation to get to, and we get it for an open three. Now, on this, one thing we like to see Jimmy Butler do is a better job. He's going to have like a zone soft coverage, but if you're going to trap this right here, you better just trap it hard, because I know you want to kind of make it so the ball in the middle of the floor, it's a lot tougher because, again, Draymond Green's so good at this back in the day when they would do this, but if you're Jimmy Butler, you have to really commit this a little bit harder, because it makes it so, yes, we still deny the high pass, but it makes it so the pass is a little bit tougher to make. And because of this, the rotation happens, and of course, this happens. Again, this is just a tough rotation to make. It is doable, but it's a tough rotation to make. Now, Clippers make a slight adjustment here, and let's see what it is. And you probably know, if you've seen this happen a little bit before, and you probably guessed right, it's going to be a guard rotation. Now, since we're getting Curry's defender, which in the past they had Curry's defender. I'll talk about what Warriors used to do with Curry back a couple years ago. But right here, another high ball screen here. They're going to elect to be strong on this and try to trap this out a little bit right here. Now, the Warriors are making the adjustment where, hey, we're going to be a little bit close to our man here, and not so much triangle, but just not be so much in and reach out to our, because a 3-point shot happened, right? From Collins. So Jimmy Butler right here, you'd like to see Jimmy Butler kind of do a better job trapping, because he's in no man's land, either do it or no do it. But Kawhi Leonard picks up his dribble here, they pick it up here, and because of this rotation, the Warriors actually defend it pretty well here. Pass it to Zubac, and then we're going to shade it, we're going to cover it, shade it, cover it, shade it right here, come over it, but Collins blows it up to a weak side cut here, comes over and makes it. Now, the thing about this is I'd like to see Butler commit a little bit harder on this trap here, because if you are going to trap this, might as well just go for it, make that pass happen. But Green comes up here. That pass to the lob here is very, very tough to make, right? Because Lopez is wide open. This is a tough pass to make. So we're not going to like to make that pass. We're going to come over here. But they try to give it to Zubac because they try to create a mismatch here, because maybe someone else would have gotten besides Green. But Green, again, pre-rotated better than last possession. And everyone pre-rotates well, okay? But they're not going to send Zubac anymore. They're not going to send their center anymore. Because, again, you don't want Green really switching off to Kawhi necessarily, right? Again, screen happens. Guard-to-guard screen happens right here. Now, of course, this is what we talk about where it's really tough to defend, okay? Because if you see my zone videos, we talk about all the time where Draymond Green's doing the right thing. He needs to wait a little bit so the lob doesn't happen, because you don't want to give a complete, you don't want to give up a complete high-low look, high-low dunk, right? So you're going to stunt a little bit, then recover so everyone recovers and matches up here. But unfortunately, give up a wide-open shot. Draymond Green does the right thing. But again, you don't want to give up a high-low pass, which is exactly what Lopez is going to try to do here. Going to get the ball screen happen right here. Kawhi Leonard's going to probe. He knows they're doubling. They've been doubling a lot in the fourth quarter, especially. They're going to slip off here. And, of course, we commit here. And this is an angle where you're saying, well, you're telling Jimmy Butler to commit here. This is a little bit tougher to commit here because you're close to the paint area, closer to scoring range. Back then, if he's on the sideline there, it's a lot easier to trap here. But again, we still want to trap this. That's the main goal there. We want to get after it. So we come over here, we trap it, done, slips a little bit, we have it. And of course, that's Green. It is Green's rotation, but he has to wait so everyone kind of rotates over. Again, this is a very good, the guard's coming down here to cut, to fill. Draymond Green's got to wait a little bit for rotate. And then right there, because Lopez, he's calling for the lob, right, and gets it up there. And again, this is just something that we see all the time. And the reason I'm showing this is because I want you guys to understand it is tough to execute on both sides as well. There is some execution nuance on both sides, right? Let's take a look again over here. What's going to happen here? Well, you guys know, right? You guys know we have Jimmy Butler. Of course, they don't want Jimmy Butler on green if you're the Clippers. So we're going to set a ball screen here, but we're going to slip it over here. And then right here, he's going to probe dribble right here. Take 2 dribbles here. This should probably be a harder trap by Jimmy Butler. I know he stumbles a little bit. This should be a harder trap because look where Kawhi Leonard is. Comment down below how would you guys do? What would you guys do with this? I'm going to talk more about this a little bit, but look at this. This is an absolute trap. Absolutely want to do here. Now we have done over here, gets over here, and then we have to stunt and recover. This is a 4-on-3 situation, right? So you have to stunt, recover, puts the defense in a bind because you're always going to play in a 3-on-4 situation at times for the first 2 seconds here. We should be sprinting right back as soon as the pass is made. Absolutely, one of them should be sprinting back. Usually, it's going to be the person who's opened up a little bit. To come back here, we have this pass against stunt, recover here. Collins has like rhythm 3 in my opinion. Let you guys know if you think it's rhythm 3 or not. And he's going to miss this. But again, take a look at this right here when we see this. Now, one thing I want to say is that you might be saying, well, why are we trapping? Why are we trapping? Why are we trapping? Why not switching? Well, you've seen comments all the time by NBA Reddit and other YouTubers and the comments saying, well, when Gobert switches, when other teams switch, it's like barbecue chicken. They get what they want. So you're going to switch for a couple of different reasons. The biggest reason, obviously, if a hot hand, you want to get the ball out of his hands, make the pass, make the rotation, so you have someone else shoot. That's just the basic level 1 concept, right? And I think everyone can agree with that. And that's why doing something, getting the ball in their hands, is something that more and more teams are starting to do. In fact, I think doubling these ball screens now is way more, check the stats on this, is a bit more, it's up like 3, 4, 5% than it was back in 2012, 13, 14, right? They're just trapping and doubling a little bit more because advanced are saying, hey, trapping does do a little bit better than some switching matchups, right? Now, it's up to you whether you want the matchups to be what have you, but I think there's more nuance than some say, oh, just switch it, this, that. I think there's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of comments saying, oh, it's very easy to defend it this way or attack it this way. A lot of nuance in basketball. Now, coaches aren't as dumb as we think they are. Some are a little bit smarter than they are, and that's just how basketball is. And, of course, we see this happening a lot. This is just a play action that we've seen offensive, defensive for years, and I wanted this to showcase because not any YouTubers have been talking about this for the last couple of years in terms of this play into some nuance. I didn't go into a lot of depth here, but it's very simple, but there's a lot of layers to it, as you guys can see. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and as always, keep your sights on basketball vision.